Welcome to the Runna Podcast. I'm Ben, head coach.
And I'm Anya, international marathon runner, and we're proud to be the #1 rated running coaching service worldwide.
We'll be bringing insightful conversation with truly inspirational guests, as well as running tips and tricks for runners of all abilities.
Today on the podcast, we spoke to the amazing Steph Elswood, who spoke to us about her journey into the health and fitness world, which started out with her being a professional dancer, which unfortunately led to her experiencing some body image issues and experiencing an eating disorder. But in turn, it led her to create her healthy food and fitness Instagram account. She then went on to run London Marathon for her granddad to raise money for Alzheimer's, which she said is one of her proudest moments. She has since gone on to found her own non-alcoholic drinks company after her own sober curious journey. And she's about to be a new mum. You're going to love this episode. Let's get into it.
Hey Steph, how are you?
Hello, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Very good. Thanks so much for coming to join us today. And we would love to start with what got you thinking about health back on day one of Steph's health journey?
That's a really good question. So I trained as a dancer for most of my life. Every Saturday was taken up with hours of dance training, weekday evenings, and I was fortunate enough to go to professional dance school at the age of 14. So I would say that's when my awareness of health started, but I wouldn't say it was when I then looked into becoming healthier, because during that time I fell into disordered eating, had a really bad eating disorder from the age of 14 to 16. I then left that school after my GCSEs and went to a performing arts college. First year was great, and then I relapsed in second year. And then I'd say it was probably third year of dance college where I was really like, okay, if I want to be a professional performer, I need to fuel my body in the right way, I need to move my body in the right way, and I need to make sure that I'm the healthiest version of myself. And that is when I started my Instagram page, Healthy Chef Steph. I was really fascinated by filling my body with more nutrients rather than seeing what I could limit into my body. I wanted more in my body that was going to make me feel fitter, faster, be a better performer, look healthier, feel healthier. And I set up this Instagram page as a little secret because all of my friends were like, why do you just post food on your Instagram? Just post a selfie like a normal teenager. And it started to kind of gain a little bit of traction. And I started to document kind of my recovery journey as I expanded my knowledge around health and wellness. And I'd say it's probably been a massive passion of mine since I was about 19. And that's kind of how I fell into this world of wellness and healthy living, and I absolutely love it.
And that was while you were starting out as a professional dancer?
Yeah.
So did you become a professional dancer?
Yeah, I did quite a few dream jobs. Like I danced the Brit Awards with Dua Lipa. I danced Britain's Got Talent, live TV. I did loads of dream jobs, but the industry is quite toxic. And I think because I was so conscious of my health and wellness, that kind of bled into mental health as well, that I was like, as much as I've trained my whole life for this is not my be all and end all, and being judged on my appearance and my height and my physique isn't what I want from my future. And at the same time, Healthy Chef Steph was that kind of taking off. And I had all of these opportunities where I could show up completely as myself rather than trying to audition to fit a box or tick someone's box on an audition panel. And so I kind of just dived headfirst into the social media side of things, and now that is a huge part of my career.
And to be a dancer and to be at that level of dancing where you're on all these amazing stages, I guess, what does that take physically? Were you doing hours in the gym? Like what does that look like?
I'd say I was kind of like at my peak when I was at college, because you dance all day every day, whether it's performing, conditioning, training, whatever that might be. But then when you leave, you're kind of just said like, oh, you need to maintain this, but no kind of tool book or rule book on how to do that. So I'd go to like lots of open dance classes with some of the leading dancers in the space or choreographers in the space. But also that is when I fell in love with training in the gym, because I was like, I need to stay fit. I need to stay, because I'd go from doing 8-hour days at college 5 days a week to suddenly then you graduate and then you've got all this free time. You still have to go to auditions and you still have to be peak fitness. So yeah, I kind of fell in love with the gym and that kind of training, weightlifting, and just opened my entire world to a new way of moving my body.
And Healthy Chef Steph started as just food, and then when did it move to showcasing exercise and training and more than just the nutrition side of things?
I literally did not post my face at all for maybe a year. And then I was speaking to someone that I went to college with, and I said, he was originally my 100th follower, because I have 99 followers, like, someone follow me, I want 100 followers. And he was like, this is going back years ago, by the way, when all you could do was post little square photos. Like, stories didn't exist, videos didn't exist. It was just a photo and a massive long caption. And he was like, Steph, you should speak about your recovery journey, and you should like post more honestly about what you're going through. So I was like, yeah, maybe avocado toast is fine. And then I went home and I said to my parents, I was like, I think I'm going to post my face on social media, and I think I'm going to speak a little bit more openly about this journey that I'm on, because I was going through treatment at the time for the eating disorder. And my mum is like Pam from Gavin and Stacey, and she was like, oh my Christ. She was like, no, the internet is dangerous, don't post your face. And then I did, and I started to introduce myself a little bit more. And then I spoke about kind of recovery. And then I started, when video launched on Instagram, it was only 15 seconds. So I would try and fit like a whole workout video, like one rep of each exercise into these 15 seconds. And then as Instagram has evolved and social media has evolved, so has kind of what I've shared. I think I've just slowly always drip fed wherever I am onto the social media platform that I'm using to kind of tell my journey and my story, and just be open and honest about how I'm feeling and where I'm at.
And did you think was there even a part of you that thought when you had 100 followers and started thinking about sharing more, that it would lead to a whole career and having hundreds of thousands of people keep an eye on what you get up to and see your journey through the gym, through running, through, going on to have a baby, like all of that sharing of your life would lead to where you are now?
Absolutely not. Like, I remember when I hit 10,000 followers, I was in my kitchen with my mum and dad, and we were just screaming like, oh my God, that's so many people. Like, what the hell? And it was such early days that I don't think I could really see. I couldn't play the tape forward because it didn't exist. There were influencers in maybe Australia and America, and maybe there was like the first wave of influencer in London, but I don't think any of us knew the potential of this platform. And it was so exciting. It was such an exciting time where there were just constantly events and meetups, and like all of these people just so excited about sharing their journey and stuff. It wasn't about monetization or brand partnerships, because they didn't exist. And I remember I got a DM from Nike, and they were like, we'd love to take you to Stockholm for the Nike training camp. And I was like, it's a scam. It's a scam. Even to the point when I was driving to the airport, I was like, this is a scam. This is a scam. Then I got picked up, flown to Stockholm, had like 3 days there that was absolutely insane. And that was when I decided, like, this is something I really need to take seriously. And I was living with my parents at the time, and I said, look, I'm gonna go all in with this, and I'm gonna commit my whole time to this platform and seeing what I can grow and build. I've got some savings. If I don't kind of make it or make any money in in a year's time, then I will go back to working at Harrods in retail, where my soul is destroyed, as a spritzer girl, because that's what I did when I was at college. And my parents were like, okay, fine. And then within 6 months I signed my first big brand deal, and I've not really looked back since.
Wow. And I guess you spoke about kind of like the mental health side of things. I guess social media is so well known for like being negative for people's mental health in some ways. Like, for you, how's that been, sharing your whole life on social media? Do you feel the pressure of it? Do you just love it? Like, how does it affect you?
I think I've never had like a massive spike in followers, right? Like, it's always been a gradual climb. So as I'm speaking about things and being more open, it's always been this kind of welcoming environment of gradually having new people. I think if I was suddenly thrust into this world where you have thousands of people watching your every move, I think I would have struggled a little bit more. But in the early days, everyone was so nice and just so excited to cheer you on. And like, I always say that I feel like I've grown up with my followers, because I've been posting now for almost 10 years. I was like a really lost teenager, and now I'm going on to have baby. Like, it's just, I feel like we've really got on this journey together. I will say that in lockdown, people got really, really mean. I think that was just a negative time for everyone. And I'd say my mental health suffered as a result of the negativity then. But it also made me implement boundaries, because I think I used to just share so openly that now I've realised it's far more important to share from scars and not wounds. So like before, if I was feeling something, I'd be like, I need to talk about this on social media, because like that's being vulnerable and open and honest, when actually no, speaking to my therapist and working through it is vulnerable. I'm going to do that, process that, do what I need to do, and then share it in hindsight if I feel it necessary. And just learning that like I can have those boundaries and you can still be open and honest, but hold a bit of yourself back to protect your peace.
Yeah.
And that's something that I think I needed to learn, and I'm glad that I learned.
Do you think you've been that like mentally headstrong because of your upbringing? Because you had so many setbacks with your like eating disorders, your mental health, with dancing, but you kept going back. And you even said once you started this Instagram page, so many people would give up because they don't know, you didn't know the potential of it, but you went all ham on that.
I think my parents have always instilled in me like you have to work hard. So the only reason I was able to go to dance school in the first place was if I got good academic grades, whereas everyone else in my year just wanted to be in Billy Elliot and like shows, and that's all they cared about. Whereas I knew I was there with the ethos that I would be pulled out if I didn't get good grades. So it was like, I can do what I want to do, but I have to work bloody hard to get there. So I think that was always instilled in me in like a healthy way. I wouldn't say my parents are pushy. They just always wanted the best for me. And I think what was nice was kind of sharing that journey with them as well, because they were excited by it too. Yeah. And my dad, who's from such a corporate background, obviously not understanding any of it, he learnt as I learnt. So they've been really supportive throughout. And when these opportunities have come about, and whether the struggles or whatever have come with it, they've just been really supportive and been like, okay, we'll work through this together, or like, what are you going to do, and ask the right questions. And I think that's all I've ever known. Like, I would sacrifice so many birthday parties on a Saturday because that's when I do my dancing. Like, it was non-negotiable. So I was always under the impression that like I knew exactly where I wanted to be from a young age, and I was going to work hard to get there.
Yeah.
And I guess you knew exactly where you wanted to be, which was to be on the biggest stage as a dancer. Are you happy where you are and that you're not doing that?
There's part of me that's always like, what if? But like I said, I got to do some of those dream jobs, and I saw so many friends struggle over lockdown when that whole world got shut down and they were offered no support. And I think my big stages have now shifted. It's not necessarily about being a backing dancer or on the West End or anything like that. Like, now all of that training lends itself so much to what I'm doing now, whether it's public speaking or like through the opportunities that I've had in recent years. Speaking has been a huge thing, and without that training, I don't think I'd be able to get up in front of crowds of people and speak into a microphone and hear my own voice back. I think even walking into situations in a business environment and standing tall with other business women and businessmen all comes down to the training from performing. And like, sometimes you have to put on a facade when you're terrified and nervous. And I'm so grateful for that. So I think everything has led me to where I am now. Like, without performing, I wouldn't have had my eating disorder. I wouldn't have started my page. I wouldn't have then built that amazing community that has got me to speaking to you guys. So of course there's moments where I'm like, oh, I wish I could have done that job, or like Wicked has just come out and I'm like, oh, I would have loved to have been in that. But also with that, none of the other amazing things would happen.
And we also haven't got to so much of what you have also achieved that we can come on to, like starting businesses. But I think I must have met you maybe 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Right when we were starting Runna, when we were called the Run Buddy.
Yeah, as a PDF.
As a PDF. What was it that got you into running?
So I met you because, do you remember it was that challenge that my boyfriend Lewis was doing where he ran up a hill all day?
He ran up the hill.
All day.
For context, this challenge was in the lockdown.
Yeah.
It was a 50-kilometre ultramarathon virtual race. You had to run 1,200 metres of vertical elevation.
Yeah.
And at the same time cover 50 kilometres of distance. And I was doing it the week before Lewis with a friend, Will Googe, and I was like pacing him, and I had mapped out the course that I thought was best in the world, which is the steepest hill in Richmond, or the steepest hill in London, up from like the bottom of the hill to the top of the hill. We did 10 reps of it, and then ran a long way down the hill back up 35 times to make the perfect course.
Silly.
But so Lewis came to like help me and Will out and cheer us on and kind of learn the course for the following week. And then you were cheering him on the week thereafter.
I was actually just there to be a wag. Like, I was just there to clap and give snacks.
And so that was when I met you.
Yeah.
And so is that then what inspired you to then go on to run thereafter?
I think being around someone that is that into fitness and running and things like that, I was so inspired by him. I can't lie, after watching that day, I never wanted to run up a hill for 50 kilometers at all. That's not what inspired me. But just seeing how you guys survived that and actually enjoyed it, I was like, oh, wow, that's a way that I've never really explored to move my body. And then we got talking, I can't remember how, but you were explaining about the Run Buddy and like
I don't think
5K
we'd
plans.
launched it.
No.
And I think Lewis was then going to train with us for his next goal. And I remember because I did a call with him, told him all about it, and then I think he texted me being like, I'm really excited. And then he goes, but also, can you talk to Steph? Because she would love to learn about it too.
Because I think if he wrote a plan for me or told me to do something, I'd be like, piss off. Like, I'd just be like, no, I'm embarrassed. Like, you can't tell me what to do. Whereas when we had that call and you were like, look, we will create a plan that works for your body. Because I think I was always put off by running because I was like, who am I going to run with? Because Lewis is too fit for me. I'll just slow him down. No one else I really know is a run club would be too intimidating. So how do I make sure that I'm running at the pace that I need to be running at? And then when you reached out, I was like, oh, this might be my way in. And I was so excited by it. And then I had a shoot with Alzheimer's Research UK because my granddad was suffering with dementia at the time. And then they said, oh, we can get you into London Marathon. And at the time I was on set and on the shoot with everyone, and you just kind of just like smile along and go, yeah, that sounds amazing. And then the next day when they emailed me about it, I was like, oh, this is actually happening. So that's when I reached out to you and you helped me write my London Marathon plan. And that might have been before actually. And then it got delayed. It got postponed. And then as a result, you guys then came on board to help me with that. And there is no way in hell that I would have got through that marathon without that training.
Well, it was so funny because I was telling Anya before we started, but like, while that may well have been pivotal in your training, like you were also a huge pivotal piece in like the Run Buddies journey to like lead to where we are now as runner, and like doing you being someone with your platform, sharing your journey training for the marathon. I think we must have had a few hundred customers at the time, and getting a few hundred of your followers to come on and join us is what leads to us hiring another member of staff, and that leads to working more people and more races and getting more people involved. And now we've got hundreds of thousands of people training with us every day. So like it was hugely valuable to like being in a position now we can host a podcast. So thank you for training with us and sharing your journey as well.
No, but it felt so authentic because I was like, this is what I needed to get into running and to feel confident running. And so I was just like how I always have kind of tried to show up on social media. I was just sharing what I was doing. So it was something that I actually used, really believed in, and something that was hugely influential in my kind of running journey.
And I remember then, I think we did a half marathon when Lewis was doing a 50k.
Yes.
And I remember I remember thinking like, you have gone like full circle. You're now like out in the mud.
Oh my God, I was like up to my knees in mud.
And I remember seeing you at the finish line. I don't think I've ever seen someone like seem so happy and so giddy at the end, like literally covered in mud. And I was like, I kind of like imagined you being kind of like a bit more like Barbie-esque and not wanting to get dirty. And like, I was like, what have we done? We completely corrupted you.
I think that was the first time I'd ever felt like a proper runner's high as well. But it's just amazing because I never believed, I was never sporty at school. Like I would have been picked for last for every single sports team at school. So you can carry that through the rest of your life thinking, I don't fit in that box, I'm not even going to try. And that's really how I felt about running. I'd see everyone online running like 10Ks, 15Ks, half marathons. And it does feel a bit like, oh, I won't even bother then because I'm never going to be able to do that. And I think that's maybe why so many people signed up in those early stages, because I was genuinely like, I am not a runner. I still don't class myself as a runner, but like if I can do it, anyone can. And like 2K to me is a huge achievement. So let's go out and try to do that rather than setting these huge goals that seem so unattainable. And then I think people were then like, oh, I'm you, like I want to try. So then it was so nice to then share that experience through the Run Buddy at the time with the other people that had never experienced any kind of running before.
That's what I really like rate from you as well. Like running for you has always been like for your health and to be your best person, show up as your best self. And running often, especially if you've got, you know, a history with like eating disorders and things, running can go in the opposite direction and it becomes super unhealthy. Or like everybody's signing up to all of these crazy challenges and you think that's what I need to do. But for you, why now do you run?
I think for starters, the clarity it gives you at the end of it, like sometimes it can be a slog to get into the rhythm of a run, but knowing that like you don't need anything, you just need to put on your shoes and get out. And I love that. Like sometimes I listen to music, sometimes I don't. And if ever I'm feeling, because a lot of what I do within work and stuff can give you those feelings of fight or flight, right? So I could get an email or a message, even a DM from someone that's a bit hurtful, and just start to be like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. You go for a run and all of that, just you come back and that's all released and it feels amazing. And like I've managed to make it a little bit more social. Like I had a friend that we used to always run on a Sunday together. We'd go out on a long run, we'd get muddy, we'd have snacks, maybe stop for a coffee, and like that became something that was so good because we'd yap the whole time, we'd talk things through, it was almost like we'd check in every week, give each other homework for the week, and it became like wholesome. And that's how exercise for me, I've always wanted it to be, like not punishing my body, because I did that for years. It's like celebrating what my body can do. So when I do book in these challenges, whether it's a 10K or a half marathon, it's a pure celebration of what I've built up over time, rather than I need to get a time, I need to hit this target. And I fully understand people that want to do that, but I just don't think that's healthy for me. So I just avoid it.
It's so funny because I know Lewis very well, and we've also had Lewis on the podcast before as well. I feel like Lewis's philosophy is very different. So for context, he did his first Ironman this year.
Yeah.
And he does countless ultramarathons, now runs his own ultramarathon. How do you find that, like having two such different like philosophies and mentalities in one household? Well, you both have the common theme of loving exercise, being healthy people. But I just find that so fascinating.
We definitely motivate each other. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's sometimes a bit patronising when he's like, oh, I need an easy run. Like, do you want to go for a 5K? And I'm like, rude. But, and sometimes I'm a bit like, oh, I wish I could share, because he goes to a place of pain and darkness in his ultra runs that he needs to get to like process things. And like he sees it as this amazing mental battle that he needs to overcome. I'm not into that. Like I'll go talk to a therapist and then I'll go on a nice little fluffy 5K and have a great time. But like we can still share the joy of both. So for example, when he was training for his for his Ironman and stuff, if he went swimming, he'd be like this down the pool and I'd just be like leisurely swimming. So we can still share it and experience that. And like if ever we're traveling, running around a new city is something that we love doing. Obviously he pulls back his pace massively, but it's still something we can share.
Yeah.
And I think I love cheering him on for his huge, amazing achievements. The Ironman for me was exhausting because I had not trained to be on my feet for that many hours, but he had. It was so funny. We called my parents afterwards and he's like on this high of like, I can't believe I've just done that. And I was falling asleep in the background. But like, I think we've found a way in our relationship where we cheer each other on regardless. And I love that. It doesn't feel like comparison. We're just in such different leagues.
But it's also so valuable for him to have a training partner and for someone to to go and enjoy those easy runs with, and to like make sure he stays at a sensible pace and all of those things.
Yeah.
Do you ever find that like him going out and training for an Ironman was a bit like, where are you going all the time? Could you?
I did say to him, like, because he started his running journey in lockdown and he was doing all of these crazy challenges and stuff. And I was like, look, if you don't want to spend time with me, just say, like, you don't need to go out and kill yourself for these 4-hour runs. But he just loves it. And it's I think as long as we communicate, like, and we align our schedules, because if I've planned to spend the afternoon together and he's like, oh, I'm going on a 6-hour run, I'd be a bit pissed off. But now we know that like he has his time and like I have my time and all of that kind of stuff, and it just works.
I saw your home gym setup.
Yeah.
Looks like the coolest home gym I've ever seen.
I can't lie, it's our pride and joy, especially since finding out about the baby as well. Like, he's so protective of me and this unborn child that like him going out running in the dark and stuff he doesn't love. So having the treadmill in the home gym, he's buzzing about because he knows that he's home with me, and if I need anything I can just go get him. And then I've got like a little reformer set up and stuff. And I do like little running sessions when I need to, and it's been amazing. We're so lucky.
That's amazing. And I guess another part of your amazing roller coaster journey is you're now a businesswoman running Carew.
Yes.
Tell us about that and your, I guess, journey away from alcohol as well.
So I think, like I mentioned before, I've been on this wellness journey where I'm learning more things about myself and how my body feels. And I think after recovering from the eating disorder, I'd become so attuned with my body and understanding when something felt a little bit turbulent or kind of out of sorts. And alcohol was a huge realisation for me. So it was when Lewis was still playing rugby, and I would go out with him and his friends after a game and think I could drink with the big boys and 6'5" rugby players and me knocking back alcohol, and I'm one sip Steph. So I would wake up the next day with like raging anxiety that would linger for maybe 3 or 4 days, and then I'd feel normal for 2 days, and then it would probably be a Thursday or a Friday and I'd go out drinking again. And so I was like, okay, I don't feel great on a weekly basis. I feel so inconsistent, unmotivated, and just a little bit lost. What is the common denominator here? And it was alcohol. So Lewis and I were going away for, I think it was 3.5 weeks. And I said, look, I'm just not going to drink alcohol this trip and see how I feel. And he was like, that's fine. He was like, I'm going to eat vegan, so this is great. And I was like, okay, great, cool. And he like found himself in Bali. And I got back from that trip and I was like, okay, I feel amazing. Is it because I have not had a drop of alcohol, or is it because I've just been in this gorgeous place with like the man of my dreams? So I was like, let's go into the London environment and try again not to drink for a period of time and see how we get on. And I've never slept better. I've never felt more alert. My skin cleared up. Lots of my hair fell out when I had an eating disorder. And then like when I stopped drinking alcohol, my hair got thicker, my nails grew faster. And I was just like, okay, I can't ignore these benefits. And I just felt so great that I just haven't really looked back. And I told all of my friends from the get-go that I'm just not drinking alcohol. And I noticed that when I said I'm not drinking tonight versus I don't drink, the reaction was so different.
How so?
Just if I said I'm not drinking tonight, I'd get, oh, don't be boring, why not, blah, blah, blah. Whereas if I said I do not drink, people were like, wow, that's so interesting, please tell me why. And it would just spark a completely different conversation.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Because I'm like at the point where I rarely drink. So I don't go with I don't drink, I go with I'm not drinking tonight. And that is the reaction.
Yeah. And people think that because you've just made a choice for that one evening, they can
reverse it.
Yeah. Whereas if it's like a core belief.
Yeah, they're not going to be like, oh, then don't be vegan forever.
Yeah.
They'll be like, I understand you don't drink.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's what made it so much easier. And I think I did go one way where I felt like I had to be the last one out, and I'd be exhausted and it'd be 4 a.m. and I'd be at embargoes and being like, come on guys, let's keep going.
When actually, sober?
Yeah.
Which is just to prove that you can do it.
Just to prove that I'm still fun. Like still invite me.
Oh, I've just accepted that I am now boring.
Oh no, I love it now. If I'm done, I'm just like, thank you for a lovely evening, goodbye. And it's like 11. But that basically led me to sharing kind of more of a sober side to living, and like sober curiosity is like a massive thing now, and just questioning what we've always done. Like I've always just gone out with my friends, sat in a really busy environment with a drink, had the same conversations 15 times, gone home and woken up feeling shit the next day. So it's now so nice to know how my relationships and friendships have evolved, knowing who are kind of my core friends that will be with it through it all, and who were just kind of my drinking buddies. And as a result of that, we then went into lockdown. And you know when everyone was getting drunk on Zoom quizzes? Yeah. There was nothing in that moment that I wanted to drink that was an alternative to alcohol. Everything on the market was really botanical, synthetic, probably tailored to an older demographic of people that really enjoyed the taste of gin. I never enjoyed alcohol. I'd put it through my eye because people would say it gets drunk faster. Like it was always to get drunk or to feel confident in situations where I'd feel nervous. So there was nothing that I wanted to drink that was a like-for-like replacement for alcohol. So I kept saying like, oh, someone should design something that actually tastes good, or someone should design something that makes you feel a certain way. Like, why has no one done this? And then it got to about 6 months later and I was like, wait, why don't I be that someone? And so I spent so long deep diving Google and being like, how to start a drinks brand? Where can I find empty glass bottles? And I saw this huge rise in adaptogenic and nootropic ingredients in the gaming industry, and like CBD drinks and all of these mushrooms being put into energy drinks that could give you cognitive benefit. And I was like, wow, I want to fuse that into the alcohol-free space so that you're not drinking alcohol. The drink tastes amazing. It's in a bottle that feels premium and luxurious, but also there may be positive benefit from the plant-based extracts that are in them. And that's basically how Carew's was born.
Wow, and how's it going? You said you're now nearly up to 10 staff?
It's going so well. Like, it's been a whirlwind. We've got an amazing factory based down in Brighton. We've got 2 flavour SKUs with the plans to release more. Hoping to secure our first retail listing very, very soon. And it's just, it's so not what I trained in. Like, musical theatre does not prepare you for procurement of glass bottles and all of the things that can go wrong. But I love it. It's such a challenge, and the business side of things is something I've always been fascinated in. And knowing that I'm offering a service to people that was a need that I had. And I feel like it's so selfish because I've just released something I really, really wanted myself. But it's so exciting when you see regular customers posting about it or being like, this has been such a godsend. All of my friends drink and I'm the only one that doesn't. And this makes me feel like I'm involved. Like, this is something that I'm so passionate about. I drink most weeks. I absolutely love. And I'm just really excited by the potential of the brand and what it could be.
I feel like everything that you've learned, both from like healthy cooking, from exercise, drinking, like is all, and like, yeah, exercise, Lewis and exercise is all kind of leading to being like the two healthiest people to raise a baby. How have you found the kind of the journey as a pregnant mum so far?
Do you know what? It's been so tough. I don't think I was mentally or physically prepared for pregnancy at all. I think I went in extremely naive. I was under the impression that I would be fine for 9 months, just have a slowly growing tummy, be able to mentally prepare for the baby's arrival, work throughout it, have a few hours where it's probably going to be a little bit painful, push the baby out, and then have some time off. Yeah. That's kind of in my naive brain how I thought pregnancy works. From about 6 weeks, I was so violently unwell that I could not leave the sofa for almost 4 months. And in that time, it was the most confronting time because all of these different coping mechanisms or building blocks to health that I have spent the last however many years building were completely taken away from me. I wasn't well enough to get outside and get daylight. I couldn't eat healthily because I couldn't keep any food down, and just anything beige was all that was safe. I couldn't move my body. I couldn't even keep hydrated. So all of these things that I'd put in place to be positive on my mental and physical health were completely ripped away. And it was really, really confronting. And I literally couldn't do anything other than exist. And I think that's kind of, whether it's the universe or someone telling me like, you're going to have to slow down when the baby is here. So practice now. Yeah. And I feel like it's shown me lots of cracks in things that maybe I haven't properly worked through, which I'm really grateful is happening now, so that I've got the next however many months before the baby gets here to work through that, so that when the baby is here, I can be a better mum, better businesswoman, manage expectations. And that's something that I'm really grateful for, because before I would break myself to make sure that I hit every deadline, never let anyone down. Whereas now I'm like, actually, if I just have a difficult conversation, say, this is how I'm feeling, this is possible, this is not, manage people's expectations, then everyone's happy, rather than just burning myself out constantly, taking a bit of time to rest, burnout, rest. So I'm hoping that the whole struggle of pregnancy has prepared me even just a little bit for when baby gets here.
Wow.
I'm sure it has.
And I guess like being a mum, sharing your journey online, running a business, like being a partner, like all of these things is going to be a lot to juggle.
Yeah, but I feel like it's given me more purpose now. Like before, what was I working so hard for? Like, what was I building everything for? Was it just selfish reasons? Was it status? Was it financial gain? Like, what was it for? Whereas now I'm like, I have this little person that is hopefully going to look up to me and Lewis, that is going to be reliant on us. There's so much meaning behind everything that I'm doing. Like, we're having a little girl, which I'm so excited about. And there's a reason why I had to work through my body issues and mental health issues, so that I don't project that onto her. I don't want to bring her into a world where, and I'm not saying that my parents gave me that, because they didn't at all, but they didn't know how to deal with it when it came. Whereas if, God forbid, anything like that happens to her, I'm hoping I'll have the skill set, or at least the right direction to guide her down and implement all of the positive things that I've spent the last however many years learning.
Wow, that's amazing. One last serious question before we move on to our sillier second half of the podcast.
Yeah.
You did your marathon for your granddad.
Yes.
Is that one and done, or would you ever do a marathon again?
Good question. I often say that I retired after the marathon. It was really tough. But I think I'd set myself challenges in different ways. I'm not sure. I'd never say never. I'd maybe in a different city, because I can't lie, that, not to put anyone off, but the London Marathon, you go through like the arse end of London and like the ugliest parts. Like there was so many parts where I was like, sorry, are we still in London? Like what?
We actually will ask you a question at the end of the
podcast. Okay.
Looking forward to. But Anya's proposal is to reroute the London Marathon.
Yeah, can we do that?
Favourite race,
and,
but
and Hyde Park.
Can we do that?
Yeah, I don't want to go to like Canary Wharf and that bit where there's
The
no
land
one.
of dogs.
Yeah,
Like no one was. I was. Where's
the
the
land
dogs?
of dogs.
What is it?
Isle of Dogs.
The land of dogs.
I'd quite like a land of
You know what I
dogs.
mean?
That'd be
though.
lovely, like Puppy Central.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting. I was like, "Where's the golden retrievers?" Nowhere. There's just a person in his pants, like with a saucepan and a wooden spoon.
So if your daughter on her 18th birthday is like, Mum, will you run a marathon with me?
I'd be like, "Yeah, in Hawaii, let's go."
Okay. Well, we've got a partnership.
Come do it with
we'll
us.
We'll take you to Hawaii.
Okay, I'm holding you to
Okay,
that.
nice. Well, whatever that'll be.
A few years to train.
Like 52, I think it is. Is that right?
Yeah.
That's bad maths. Anyway, it's incredible to hear what an amazing roller coaster journey you've been on, and we cannot wait to see where you go next and how the family evolves as well. We're going to segue off to our amazing coach Steph for our coaching tip of the week.
My top tip today is on race nerves. Race day nerves are so common, but we want to channel these and turn them into excitement. To help settle your anxiety, plan out your race and be organised in advance. What's your racing plan? What pace are you going to start at? When will you pick it up? What's your fueling plan? The more you can control, the less you have to think about on race day. You can simply execute your plan, which will help distract from the pain of racing.
Thank you for that, Steph. And I'm going to bring us back with a discussion sent in from one of our runners. And I'd love to hear both of your guys' interpretation of it. There's a common myth that being a full-time athlete requires animal-based protein and a very specific diet to perform at your best. Is this true? And is there a way around this?
Ooh, well, just we've got you on the podcast to answer your opinion as well. I think protein is essential for anyone to be recovering, performing well, building their muscles, being strong, everything else. So having a high protein diet is going to be very valuable. However, I think there's no science that I'm aware of that says plant-based protein is any better than the other forms of protein. And there are incredible athletes breaking the records at the Olympics who are vegan. I think it's often harder to get all your nutrients in as a vegan when you're having to move away from other food sources. But I think a well-educated vegan can be as healthy, if not more healthy.
100%. And I think also what I've learned through, obviously, Lewis is very much the athlete in our relationship.
And you're both vegan?
Yeah, both of us have been plant-based for a long, long time. He actually, whenever he's doing a lot of his races, majority of the athletes are plant-based, maybe not full-time, but for the race because of anti-inflammatory benefits and all of those things. And it's easier to take plant-based snacks for longer runs and like abroad and stuff that maybe don't need
to be refrigerated.
And I think the plant-based sources, everything you're getting is with something. It's not just like pure protein. It will be with nutrients, vitamins, minerals, carbs, whatever it might be. So I think it is very much possible to be an impressive athlete plant-based. I mean, Lewis has been vegan for 5 years and he's constantly running. Like the boy never stops and he is thriving. And even he had his bloods done by a nutritionist who wanted to be a bit like, you need to protect yourself because you need animal protein, blah, 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 blah. Did his bloods and she was like, these are the best bloods I've ever done. And he was like, cool, nice, cool. I'm going to stick with what I'm doing then. So I think it is possible, yeah.
Fully agree.
Yeah, amazing.
Anya, would you ever go vegan?
I eat less and less meat, I think. Yeah. I do quite like a roast dinner. But then I also like a nut roast. Right now, it's not in... I understand. I know why people do it, and it's really great that people do it. I think every little bit helps. I'll try and do a little bit less meat every time, but
yeah. I mean, I am my friend's name is like a big meat eater, and probably would be the last person anyone would think of as going vegan. But at the same time, I think there is more and more science that points in the direction of that.
Even just reduction,
and it's bad for the planet as well.
Yeah, like I don't think you have to completely label yourself as vegan or plant-based, but like being more plant-focused on your weekly routine is always going to benefit you.
Yeah.
I think I had my first oat milk coffee on the weekend and it was really yummy.
First? Oh my God.
I've started getting to the point, when you like order your coffee.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, can I just have a flat white? and then it's assumed that it's with cow's milk.
Yeah.
It's like with which coffee? With which milk? Because it's now so normal in like London. That,
Yeah,
like,
it's so
it's
true.
oat or almond or whatever that I now say cows.
Yeah.
Like,
So true.
Yeah.
but no, I enjoyed my own milk. We're going to come on to a this or that. So 2 obviously very sensible options, and you'll have to pick between them.
Okay.
So, would you rather
Mhm.
baby Elswood grows up to become a champion chef or a champion Ironman
Oh,
or
God.
Ironwoman?
Champion chef, because then she can cook for me.
Fair? Do you think Lewis would pick the same?
No. He'd be Iron Woman.
Is this
going
going
to
to be a challenge in like the baby rearing, where like Lewis is going to take baby for like boot camp?
Well, we
and
don't
you're
even
gonna-
we don't even have a cot yet, and he's looking at running prams. So I think
But that's for him. That's not for the you mean the pram. The baby still lies down. And,
yeah,
chills out.
true. But
can
they'll
still
have
get
that
some,
bond
like-
of like, Daddy, take me running, and he's like, okay.
But you can get like toys of like frying pans and like
Yeah.
He could like learn. The little girl could learn to ride a bike, like with TT bars.
I think that's
Little
probably
clip-in
Lewis's
shoes.
plan. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. She will have cleats. The
Okay,
moment
so,
she can
so
walk.
you're head chef.
Yeah,
Okay.
definite head
Nice.
chef.
Okay. This one's new to me.
Okay.
Would you rather Nara Smith every recipe, or only ever be able to eat microwave food? And you're gonna have to.
Benna to be
And-
like, what does this mean?
Oh
Can
my
you
gosh.
explain a Nara Smith for everyone?
Well, just Nora, Steph will know, but Nora Smith is like famous on TikTok for cooking and being like a domestic goddess, but she makes everything from scratch. Like if
Even
she has-
toothpaste.
toothpaste, like if her kids want cereal, she'll have to craft each individual
Okay.
Cocoa Pop to put in the bowl.
She made spaghetti hoops the other day, but with like fresh pasta, so individual spaghetti hoops.
Wow. So where are you going on that spectrum?
We don't actually have a microwave, so I feel like I'm going to have to Nara Smith everything.
You're gonna have time with all of the commitments you already
Well,
have.
whilst Lewis is out with the baby in the running pram, I'll be making the spaghetti hoops.
But what about Carew and everything else? And your Pilates and your...
Maybe I have to buy a microwave.
Right, it's final answer. What are you locking in?
I feel like you've really influenced my answer.
No.
Ben does this.
Yeah, I just want you. I want a balanced answer. I want you to think of both sides. You know.
We're going to Nara Smith it.
Nice.
I can see you doing
What
that.
do you do?
Oh, I can't Nara Smith.
Okay.
I eat only microwave meals right now.
Yeah. No, I'm. I think if I did microwave meals, I'm probably healthier than I am now. Anyway.
Oh, really?
Okay. Final one.
Yeah.
Would you, for all of your running, forevermore,
Mhm.
only be able to run uphill, or only be able to run in 30 degrees or hotter weather?
Jesus.
And you have to run again. You
Oh
can't
my
just not. You can't just retire.
I reckon run uphill.
Really?
Yeah.
Up Richmond Park,
Yeah.
50 times.
I'd have legs like
Yeah,
yours.
you'll do that ultra marathon that Lewis
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, I'd be a machine. But the heat, I
And
don't think I'm
you'll be
built
well
for the heat.
fueled with your homemade cereal.
Exactly. Be Nara Smith in uphill. Yeah.
Nice.
What would you choose?
I choose heat. I'm a heavy man, not very good going uphill. And I lived in Greece for 2 years, so I'm like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
kind of like the sun.
Yeah, I think heat as well.
30 degrees, though.
I quite like getting a good sweat on. You have a cold
We-
shower
we did-
after.
We did the Hawaii
Yeah,
Marathon
true.
last weekend.
You did the what?
Hawaii Marathon last weekend.
Yeah, that was like 30 degrees by the end.
But you're coming with us in 18 years' time, remember?
Yeah. I've got 18 years to train. Can't wait.
Yeah. We'll build a slightly extended plan for you.
Okay.
And we'll do the baby from birth to marathon plan as well.
Oh my God, you should
Yeah.
start that.
Yeah, I think lots of business need for that. Yeah,
I think it would thrive.
yeah, agree.
Okay, I'm going to ask you our closing question that we ask everybody. You're designing your dream race.
Ooh.
What is the distance? Where is it? What food and drink is being served at the finish line? And who's presenting your award?
Okay, so
Food and drink. This is exciting.
dream distance
Or
would
dream event it
be
can be.
a half marathon.
Oh, really? Nice.
I feel like that's a nice, for me, that's a challenge, but manageable. Whereas in the marathon, I got to the half marathon point and I was like, shit, we got to go again. Like, what? I think half marathon. It would be a warm-ish climate. Like the sun is out, but it's not sweltering. Like you can stand without a coat, but you wouldn't be dripping in sweat if you were stood still.
I love the way they describe things. Like you can stand without a coat,
You got to be specific when you're like dreaming dreams.
Yeah.
As in just like other people sometimes use like the numbers on the
temperature.
But, like,
yeah.
this is much more, it's so much more vivid. I like it.
Yeah.
Then food at the finish line. Well, obviously it's got to be Carew's for drinks. There'll be bottles of that everywhere, chilled with fresh citrus fruits.
Drink stations around them.
There'll be bartenders serving it properly. Yeah. And then food wise, it's definitely got to be some kind of sourdough pizza. With like really good vegan mozzarella, not the stuff that smells like feet, but like really good vegan mozzarella, roasted veggies, and then some kind of like sweet situation.
Nice.
Amazing.
And who is presenting the awards at the end?
Oh my gosh, Chris Hemsworth, I think, dressed as Thor. Yeah.
Did we say where it is?
Somewhere hot, but
not too hot.
Okay, in like a city by the beach.
I quite like the vibe of like Cape Town, where you've got the sea one side, the mountain the other. Nice. You're on like a bit of a promenade, running around, lots to see and do, lots of spectators.
Is it a race or a fun run?
It's a race where the time doesn't count.
So otherwise known as
a fun run. Yeah, it's just for fun, and everyone's there for a good time.
That literally was the definition of a fun run.
Yeah, but it sounds better if I say I'm racing a half marathon. Yeah. Okay. And everyone's impressed by the end. Yeah.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
A half marathon, everyone's impressed. Yeah. Wow, what a race!
I look forward to it.
Can't wait. We'll do that as a training run for your marathon in Hawaii.
Can't wait.
Lovely. Well, thank you so much for coming and joining us on the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
And we cannot wait to follow the rest of the whole family journey and whatever comes next.
Yeah, congratulations for everything.
Thank you.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Runna. If you want to train for any goal, download the app today, and don't forget you can use the code Runna Podcast for a 2-week free trial.
Whether you enjoyed the episode or not, please like, share, follow, subscribe, do all of that nonsense, and we'll see you next time. Thank you so much for listening. Wow, you made it all the way to the end of the podcast. And so for all of our loyal listeners, we have a special 15% off all of our Runna merchandise. If you want to look as cool as Anya, then go and use the code MyFastSocks for 15% off all of our Runna merchandise. And thank you again for listening.